I recently got a very interesting lesson in microeconomics. A grocery store just opened up down the street from me, and they attached a gas station to the grocery store, and they started selling this gas for 50 cents a gallon less than everybody else around them. It looked kind of like the 70s oil crisis. Or cars just lined up everywhere. And it was really nice to see, because we know that oil prices and gas prices are way too high because of profiteering. And it was nice to see somebody sell gas for what it's actually worth. What was even more fun was to watch the response of the other gas stations nearby. The gas station right across the street had to lower its price to 45 cents just to get anybody to show up to it again. And there was kind of a ripple effect. The farther out you went, the more the prices went up. So about a mile away, there's a gas station that sells it for about 25 cents more. And a few miles out from that, they sell it for 50 cents more. And it was kind of like this tiny little pocket of truth in the middle of all this profiteering. And I started thinking about how can we use these economic truths about selling something for what it's really worth to help us in other areas. I started thinking about wages. In the United States and in Europe and all other places in the world, stagnant wages are a real problem, unless you're in a growth economy like China. Wages in the United States particularly have for the last 10 plus years have been very stagnant. The median wages have fluctuated between $51,000 and $52,000 a year. Well, that's not good for anybody. It's not good for the economy because nobody has any more money to spend, and it's not good for the family because they can't get out of the place where they are. The only people it's really good for is Fortune 500 company because they're getting a much more productive worker for the same price. In fact, we're seeing that in the profit numbers of Fortune 500 companies. New ones came out today showing that they were more profitable than ever, even though we're in a relatively weak economy. So how can we fix that? Well, the issue here is one of imperfect information, because we've always been told that one of the rudest questions we can ask, our mom would just shriek if we ever asked, how much money do you make? Well, that question is incredibly powerful, and it's no wonder that the people who make etiquette, mostly rich people and people of power, don't want us to ask that question. Because if we actually knew what everybody made, we would know what our actual value was, and we'd be able to negotiate from strength. So if you really want to improve your situation, I really recommend going around the data center going, excuse me, how much money do you make? How much money do you make? If we expand that to our social network, we're going to have a much better idea of what everybody makes. And I think we're going to be surprised how some people make a lot more money than others for doing roughly the same amount of work and doing the same job. So if you really want to improve your life situation, I think there's one question you can ask, which is, excuse me, how much money do you make?